Yeah, I go there. MPH Master of Science info session.
Yeah. John?
Yes.
I sent myself the wrong presentation.
Oh. If you haven't already signed in, please sign in. If you go to the top of the window, and then where it says dot 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 more, the ellipses on the right side of that black menu, and then hit hide floating controls. There you go. Silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
All right. How are you guys? All right, we are alive. So thank you all for stopping by. We're just gonna do a very interactive, a lot of information about our MPH program, right? I'm happy that you guys are here with us. Y'all weathered this storm. I think it's supposed to be raining. Is it still raining? Not really. Some people say yes. Did you guys come from the same place? It's a little dreary outside, but you're still here. And for that, we appreciate you for being here. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit about information about CUNY Graduate School of Public Health and Health Policy. My name is Akila Phillips-Salmon. Just call me Akila. My name is super long. And I am one of the admissions and recruitment coordinators for the program. And I'm very happy to be here to really inform you guys about this amazing program. We all love public health for several different reasons. While some of us are trying to switch careers, some people may be just graduating from undergrad, and some people are just looking for some type of promotional opportunities within their job. And this is a great avenue to do so, right? You may already have the skill sets. So in this room, we know we have a lot of different experiences and backgrounds. So you all can add and ask several questions. Interrupt me during my spiel, right? And ask questions, because everything that you're thinking about, the person next to you is thinking about the same thing, right? So there's no stupid question. There's only great answers and some more revolution and opportunities for us to learn some about the program. So we have the first slide is, what is public health? It's kind of cliche, right? Most presentations say, do you know what public health is? And just a synopsis, pretty much public health, those are interested in public health like yourselves are just interested in bridging that health disparity gap, right? When we look around, even in the 21st century, we see so many people still lack resources that is at their fingertips. They don't really know how to get there, and some people don't know that it's there, period. And then we have others that are just ignorant about health and health outcomes and how it can benefit you if you have more access or even become more knowledgeable, right? So, public health. This is our mission at CUNY Graduate School of Public Health. And part of our mission is to provide a collaborative and accessible environment for excellence in education, research, and service in public health to promote and sustain healthier populations in New York City and around the world, and to shape policy and practice in public health for all, right? So this is important. I always think this is key because you're not just going to be sitting in a classroom, a part of a lecture, but you're going to be able to have research opportunities. A lot of us may come for different things. Some people may be interested in epidemiology and biostatistics, while others may be interested in nutrition and community health, but they all have some type of research attachment to them. Right, so while you're here, you're going to have the opportunity to do research in an area that you love. So that's very important for you to see. And we want to let you know that we're here to promote and to support you while you're right here, to promote and sustain healthcare population in New York City. Just walking through the doors in Harlem, it's very apparent, right? No? Are we there? I like to hear some communication, right? All right, so we are accredited. I think that's very important. Any school you attend asks about their accreditation, because if they don't have it, your degree doesn't really worth much, right? So we are accredited, and these are the accreditation boards. So what you really came to hear about, our MPH and our MS programs. So as you see, we have our MPH in community health, environmental and occupational health sciences, nutrition, biostatistics, and epidemiology, public health policy and management, environmental and occupational health sciences, and we have 2 MS programs, which is the three, environmental and occupational health, global and migrant health policy, and population health informatics, right? How many of you are here for any of the MS programs? No. Community health? Okay. You guys afraid of me? Do I look scary? All right, who community health? What's your name?
Emmy.
Emmy and
Tia.
Tia?
Tia.
Tia.
Yes.
I like that. All right, your name?
Lydia.
Lydia and Isabel. So Emily, Tia,
Tia.
Lydia, and Isabel. So you guys could be potential classmates, right? So you're all interested in community health. Anyone health policy and management? Oh, okay. She put her peace signs up, right? All right. And what's your name? Jessica. Ashley. Tanya. Uh-huh. Over here, right? Health policy? No, here. Paola with a P. Paola. Yeah. You guys are doing it to me today. And what's your name? Tess? Thank you. Right, health policy. And then we have nutrition. Anyone for nutrition? No, not really. Okay, that's cool. Epidemiology, biostatistics. Oh, okay, nice. And then we have environmental and occupational. And what are you here for, sir?
Not sure.
Undecided? That's fine.
I was originally thinking health policy management, but I'm interested also in hearing about the community health part.
Okay. And you back there?
Oh, yeah, I'm not really.
Moral support.
Yeah, moral support.
We like moral support. So, I'm going to give you guys a little quick overview of the programs you guys are interested in. So we have community health and health policy. Have you ever visited our website, guys? Yeah, and tell me a little bit. What do you like about the program, or do you know about the program? I'm going to tell you a little bit more. What do you guys know? Oh, you know moral support. You have a lot.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
actually, you guys have alumni statistics like placement, salary data, like.
We do have alumni statistics, as in places like where do they work after. We're still constructing the salary component of it. I'm not lying to you. This is not a cliche. You know, people say, "Oh, we're currently working on it." We actually have data. We're putting it together, and as soon as we get it, we're going to post it. But it's real. It's there. Okay, I am not making this up. It's there. Okay. So there is that. We do have where they work afterwards, and you guys are going to see within the presentation. We're going to speak about field work, right? And you're going to learn a little more what field work is. Moral support. Go ahead.
Sorry. So like, I mean, no, I got my bachelor's at community, so we had a lot of career services, and we had a lot of professionals come in from big companies that would give us refers to get into big companies. Like, do you guys operate the same way?
Most definitely.
Okay, awesome.
All right. So community health. Thank you for that. That's important. Yes, Ed.
Just like the social justice emphasis within community health and organizing, and like intersectionality within public health.
That's what's pulling you into that area.
Yeah, on the charts in the program.
Yeah, right. You guys as well. That's it.
No.
No. You just want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So community health, those that are interested in community health, you guys will be more interested and you will learn how to do stuff as in being program initiators, like within the community. So those that are interested in community health, you guys are seeing public health through a slightly different lens than those within the FP or the biostatistics, right? So the community health person, they're interested to know that the community is educated about different resources. You're interested to know that you can put on programs that's going to aid them in conveying certain messages. Let's say, for instance, someone suffers, like you have an epidemic with asthma, right? Children are getting asthma, and a lot of parents don't know what to do. So you, from that public health lens, you may say, why public health people interested in that? But you want to know that they know how to administer the medication to ensure that the children are going to be well. They're going to make sure their vaccinations are up to date. You're going to educate them about keeping those things in check, right? So from the community health part, you want to be a part of the community. You want to be a part of like agencies that work as a director, put on programs. You're getting to understand and more contact with the people. So you're going to find a lot of people that work in hospitals. When they come into the program, they ask to get an MPH in community health, or want to work in those local agencies. They want to do more community health, where they have more contact with people. They speak with them. They understand certain things. They learn how to write grants. They learn how to put together programs. And there's a little lab with health policy and community health, because health policy, they're interested in people, like every part of public health. But health policy is more interested to know that there are policies in place to protect these people of their rights, right? Because you're looking into like more urban communities. So now you realize you're dealing with a vulnerable population, right? So with these vulnerable population, they may not necessarily know what laws are put there, and they don't know how to get access to that. But being in public, in policy, someone with a policy mind is saying, listen, there are laws that are there, but there's a loophole. How could we work on that? How could we fix that? So within this program, you're not just going to learn how to write these policies or understand and help people with that. You're going to be able to get some fieldwork, some hands-on experience. So before you leave the program, you're going to be able to work in community health, work under directors, work within those programs, create programs, right? Alongside those people, meet some competencies within the program. And within health policy, you're going to learn how to write these policies to protect those people. So between the two programs, there are overlaps, because you see how they're directly kind of affect people. One wants to more be there to educate, and the other one to create policies to protect rights and protect them in certain ways.
In regards to field work, what are some like agencies that
I'll show you that.
okay.
Right?
What are some, I guess I'm curious about the opportunities to like kind of craft the classes you take and choose how much, like if you are doing community health, how many opportunities you have to take public health policy courses and like what that looks like.
What I'm gonna do when we're finished with this, I usually have a little book. I'm gonna take one of these, but no, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take one of these. No, this is for someone else. Right behind. So what I'm gonna do at the end, I'm going to just go to the website where you can see the electives, right? So you can see the number of electives that you have, and in directly related to your question, you're going to be assigned a faculty advisor, right? Everyone here, you may all want community health. Let's say everyone wants that, but you may want it for a different reason. Welcome. We're happy to have you in our family, right? So you may want it for a different reason. However, what you're going to do, you're going to say, well, I don't want to take it the same length as this. I want to mix my class a little bit. This is my career outcome. That's what I want for myself. So the faculty advisor is going to help you construct that, right? So you're going to give your long-term goals, and you're going to meet with them and the advisor, and you're going to help channel that, right? And you can always find faculty that kind of have a similar route to what you want or what you intended for yourself, which is helpful. So it's very important that you ensure that you have a faculty that you kind of use as a mentor, right? To kind of guide you along. They're very helpful, especially if you're thinking also of getting a higher degree. You may be further interested in PhD. You know, you never know. Or the DRPA. We don't offer that, but those are different avenues people take, right? All right, so let's move on. Epidemiology and biostatistics people. You guys in that area, you know, that have a lot more with studying and understanding data. So you are very important within this whole scheme of things. Without data, we don't know what we're working with, right? So those persons who are also very interested in research. And we have a lot of research opportunities for those people as well. As you know, CUNY Graduate School of Public Health, we also have the research centers and institutes. So you can look under that, there are different things, different areas that you may like. Maybe you like food policy, or they have something they're doing now with migrant health and migrant policy. And we also have a more deeper concentration in the MS in global and migrant health policy. But we have institutes that are gathered around those things, right? So there are different areas for you there, and you are going to get it. What we'll do also, I want to visit the pages really quickly, just in case you guys have never visited before, so you can kind of get familiar with it. Even after this presentation, you can still go and know how to navigate the website a little more to make it useful for you, right? All right. So we spoke about, then we have nutrition. Public health nutrition is different from the master's in nutrition, right? Many people get confused by that. There are a lot of people that are interested in being a registered dietitian, and they said nutrition, MPH in nutrition doesn't satisfy that. So anyone interested in nutrition, they're more interested in populations where a lot of people suffer with have hypertension and obesity, right? And diabetes. So within these areas, you want to know that, hey, do they even have access to healthier lifestyle choices? Why are these communities filled with fast foods stores? Why are there corner stores in every block? One or two, you can always find a McDonald's right next to Burger King. It's literally right outside, right? The streets. So someone with that, a public health person, say, well, this is why this area is concentrated with all these ailments, because they don't have access to healthier foods, right? So this person's interested to know that they can see if they can get lobbying and ensuring that they can get a grocery somewhere, right? Where they have access and they know how to put the foods together and they know why it's important and what it does to the body. So MPH in nutrition, they're interested in the diets of people to kind of prevent before, they say prevention is better than cure. So it's how you prevent the ailment before you have to find a cure for it, right? So those are some of the things that we have. The population health informatics is also dealing with data. I call it the very practical aspect of the epi to me in my mind, right? Because this is where you use the data for better health outcomes, right? So you can see that visible here. The director in this program, he did a program similar to this, but this is the first of its kind, the MS in Population Health Informatics. So they had the idea of actually creating they did this before in a different state. He did this before, so he wants to do this in New York, where they have a kiosk machine. And let's say you can have a seat over here. You're welcome. Let's say you have think about a vending machine, right? You have $5. And you insert that because you want a bottle of water, you want a Sprite and something else. So this machine, you put in the money and you can get a lot of tests. So they want to put this in different communities. So you can test for blood pressure. You could test for sugar levels. They want to test for different things. So these reports are actually being recorded, right? So what they did in a different state that they're trying to bring here is they transferred that information to the department. So now they know how to help those communities because, the men, the women, the children, they don't always go to the doctors. So you don't know how to help them. A lot of times you try to create care without really knowing what's the problem. But in this program, you're going to learn how to create systems and use technology to create better outcomes. So this is what this MS in Population Health Informatics is about. The MS in Global and Migrant Health Policy, as we know, Ebola happened, right? We can't say that You have an ailment that is just restricted to one area. We all affect each other very drastically. Every day there's a new something coming in or going out, and is converted in different ways. So you're learning about healthcare, health policy, and its effect everywhere from the lens of public health, right? I think I'm boring you guys. You guys are giving me the sleepy eyes. All right, so then we have our certificates program. The advanced certificates programs that we offer, they can be transferred to our master's program, right? As you see here, the certificate in industrial hygiene can be transferred to the MS in environmental occupational health sciences. The certificates in the advanced public health can be transferred to any of our MPH programs, right? And then we have the certificate in the population health informatics. They're all 100% online. And then you can do some of the classes in person as well. It all depends on how you learn, your learning abilities, right? The good thing about what I say for all of these, they're a little more specific. Let's think about the industrial hygiene and the population health informatics. They're a little more specific as to what you want to do. But something like the public health advanced certificate program that we offer, it's a little more general. Being, let's say, for instance, you came in here, you're not quite sure on what area you want to do in public health. But you know for sure that you're interested in public health, completing that. Let me go and close the door a little bit. So the advanced certificate in public health, it offers the 15 credits, which is the 5 core courses within all the public health programs that we offer. So it's a foundational course for all the programs that we have. So within this program, you're going to get health policy and management. You're going to get community health. You're going to get nutrition. You're going to get epidemiology and biostatistics foundational courses. You have to do them anyway, but this course helps you to make sure you're choosing the right track, right? So I think it's very beneficial for someone that's not sure, but if you're sure, stick with what you are interested in and go along with it. But if you're not sure, I always recommend this. It's not pushing you back. You're not losing time. You're going to go along the same lines that you would have gone if you went to the MPH program. So a lot of people, if you apply, sometimes you may not get into the area that you want. We may offer the option of possibly getting into the advanced certificate program. And people really feel like that's a rejection. But it's not a rejection, it's actually a help. And that's an area for you to prove that you can handle the coursework, that you know for sure this is what you want to do. And then you're getting a certificate out of it, in addition to your master's program, right? The certificate also does help you professionally, especially if you're in the area, in the field. It helps you with that as well. It's beneficial. And if you already have a master's program, a lot of students also have a master's program, but they want to switch careers. This is a good way for you to bridge that. You may not want another master's degree, but you want to be certified in public health. And after taking this program, then you can transfer into anything else. And then you can move forward to the PhD program. It all depends on what you want. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it makes a difference long term if you did something online versus in person?
No. All up to you. And if you're a better learner, I always say also, if you're coming back to school after many years, you graduated a while, you don't want to go full time, right? And you may not necessarily, if you never took an online course before, you may not want to take an online course. You don't want to test that out, take all your classes online. You have to be realistic. And when you speak with an advisor, we'll be better able to help you with that, right? All right. So these are the 15 credit program consistent within the advanced certificate that I just told you guys about. And it's also a part of the MPH programs that we offer, right?
Wait, so your online credits are transferable?
Yes.
So like every, like, let's say like you wanted to like John Hopkins, like, are they gonna?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's accredited.
And
So that's why I showed you guys like that first slide, so you can feel sure and confident to know that whatever you take with us, you can transfer it wherever you go, and it's worth something, right? The programs themselves are in-person programs, However, there will be courses that's available to you online, but I don't tell students that it's an online program because it's not. It's predominantly in person. We just have specific courses, for instance, the advanced certificate courses. They're all online. How many credits and how long will it take, right? So these are the credits that we offer. These are how long the programs are. 42 credits for the MPH, the MS is 39, the certificate is 15, and you meet once per week for each course, right? You're going to only meet one time, 2 to 3 hours. 15 weeks in both semesters, fall and spring, and all classes are held in late afternoon or evening time for about 4 days, right? So this is how the courses are organized. We have no weekend and no daytime classes. So you don't have to leave your job, right? So some people always say, I don't want to let my boss know that I'm going back to school. I mean, not everybody may not be as welcoming and encouraging as my boss, right? But you don't have to shift your hours. So that's one good thing. And then the online courses that you can do, you can attend full-time or part-time. You graduate within 2 to 3 years and you with a certificate 1 year, right? So you can start part-time and then convert to a full-time student. You can start full-time and you can convert to a part-time student. It all depends on your schedule. Any questions so far? We're good? Yeah.
Do you consider full-time students taking like 12 credits?
12 credits or more, yeah. Any other question?
So full-time is still from 4 to 8. Full-time or part-time?
Full-time or part-time? Instead of 4 to, yes.
It's still 4 to 8.
Yes. That don't change. But just one and full-time graduates in 2 years, while part-time graduates in 3. And we don't have an accelerated program. So some people say, could I finish in 1 year? No. It's not designed as such. All right, so we spoke about this part. So you're gonna see here has 4 to 8, right? And then you're gonna see something here like 4 to 10, because the class will start at 8, but it'll end at 10. And that's sending you wrong information. Monday through Thursday, and then the online course, the 15 out of 42 is the core courses that we mentioned earlier, that you can take 100% online, but the program itself is in person. But those you can also take in person. Don't think that they're only offered online, the core courses, right? Okay. So everyone here works full-time, or most people work full-time here? So that is definitely a concern, right? So you don't have to leave your job. You can keep your regular schedule, then you come to class. That's okay. You have to pay for the program. All right, so this is just a little more about the hours that they decide here. All right, so now this is about the practice experience. There is a slide here.
Do you offer summer sessions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the reason I don't always say yes is because some people try to map out their curriculum independent of the advisor with the summer in place, right? And they sometimes map out a fail because the summer and the winter break session courses, they're all dependent on the department availability. Right? So let's say the department has faculty and they can't offer that in the summer, they will. But if they don't, if I tell you they do, but I heard that, Akila said that, right? And I don't want you to set yourself up to fail. But if you work with the advisor, you're gonna see some courses, like for instance, we have some courses that are gonna be offered every spring or every fall. So those you can do it. And when you sit with the advisor, you can map out those things, but you have to sit with them, right? They will know a lot more than I do. I don't look that deep into your trail throughout your course, your time here. So the field work, you must submit 180 hours, right? That's planned. It has to be supervised, evaluated, and graded. So each one of our program questions Oh, don't be scared. I just told you. Right? So each of our programs, you have to submit that time.
But once you do the there's the possibilities.
Yes, let's talk a little bit about that. Right? Good question. You can do it in the even depending on the organization that you're with. However, if you already work in public health, right? You may say, hey, is it possible for me to do my field work at my job? Yes, you can. However, you will be able to do it with your same supervisor. You will need a different supervisor, right? So that they can give you a little more, a better, clearer, with less judgment. Maybe your supervisor likes you a lot, and you don't have to meet those kind of, maybe they don't like you, right? So you're going to do it under someone else, but you have that option. And then we have options where the field work can take place on the weekends for those who work full time. So it all depends on the place you're assigned. You're going to get a list of sites that's approved. Do I have it here? Okay, so these are some of them that we have, some of the approved sites, right? This is not all of them. I can show you that. Let me put that here. I don't think I have it, but I can show you where you can find it on the website. And if at any time you guys want more information, you can always send me an email and I can guide you. Or we could talk one-on-one. You could all set up an appointment. I want you to know that you can set up an appointment, talk one-on-one. We can go over your transcripts and stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit. So these are some of our past sites, right? So some of these sites also offer like weekend hours. So you can complete it over the weekend. If in the week your week is way too taxing and you don't have any more time to breathe, right? You can complete it on the weekend. It all depends on the site that you choose. And the sites that we have, they're not set in stone. Let's say, for instance, we didn't have the Caribbean Women's Health Association, and you live close to that site. You say, hey, there's a site here, I think they're going to need a competency. I think I'm in community health. They need a lot of patients, a lot of in the community. How can I get, you let us know. Well, not us. You're going to let the director of the fieldwork, that experiential learning know, and she will contact the site for you on your behalf and say, hey, I have a student that want to come and spend some time there and learn X, Y, and Z. Do you have someone there? You get a preceptor, and whether yes or no, you're going to be at it. So if you have ideas of places that, hey, this is a dream area for me. And also think about it, I tell students all the time, approach this like a job interview, right? Because there are possibilities for you to network. And you could really hone in on those skills, right? And don't be too critical, be open, think bigger than what you're doing right now. So those are different things that you can think about.
Mm-hmm. And you have the opportunity to apply to places that are outside of the state or the country as well.
Well, you have to speak with they're out of the state most definitely, out of the country, sure. Right? But I can't answer for that. But I think maybe.
Is it okay? I assume that you can do it at your current job.
I can do that.
Oh, sorry. Is it possible? Can you get paid for it? Like, how does payment work for it if you're doing it at your current job?
Well, you're not off the clock, so.
Okay.
I don't think they'll say,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not getting paid.
Okay.
But that's definitely something I think is speak to people about. And when you reach this point, you're going to have an orientation, right? So you're not just thrown into this. As soon as you reach that place, you're going to be sent an email. You'll have an orientation where you'll have to meet and discuss these things, and you can ask all those questions, right? I bet you're not the first class to have been through this. Let me have her first, and then I'll come to you.
Okay.
So if I'm interested in biostats and epidemiology and like specifically research, is there a way to like amend the fieldwork just for that? Or does it still have to be like at a physical site?
Well, you have to do field work, right? How they do it for each program may be a little different, especially for epidemiology and statistics. So they'll work with you with that, but that's something that you must complete. It's not something that I can get away from, but maybe in a different way, especially you think about it the way which you want, if you want to focus more on research. So you will definitely have to work under someone that will go think and there's competencies for your program. You guys took one of these, so all of them have like, they have how much it is here, so they have the practice experience, and that's like 1 credit, that's the field work. And then it's connected to the bottom, where you see culminating experiences right here at the bottom, they're connected. So that's why you can't omit that part, right? All right, so the GRE, we don't require the GRE for most of our programs. However, epidemiology and biostatistics, we require them, and environment. Every other we do not. The environmental, however, can be waived if you have a 3.0 or higher, but the epi definitely not. You need to submit a GRE, right? Students that are usually accepted into the EPI program with a GRE, they have at least a 3.5 and the score like within the 50th, 60th percentile. And the 40 go up there, but mostly recently 50th, 60th percentile. It's doable. It's not out of your reach, right?
What if you have like a doctor's degree?
If you have a doctor's, you still have to submit what? Give me a minute. Let me pause myself. A doctorate degree, you want to do an MPH?
Yeah.
They have to look at the transcript. But we haven't really had a lot of doctors do that.
Would you need?
But you still need to do the GRE because the MPAC wouldn't apply for this because we need the quantitative.
So like, what if it was
Scores.
like, what if it was an accelerated program, so you didn't get the doctorate, you got the doctorates?
So you didn't get a BA, but you just went straight and get a doctorate?
Sure.
Where is that?
St. John's.
You're talking about the pharmacy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still need to submit a GRE score.
Okay. But like, I mean, how's the GPA rated?
3.0 or higher
Okay.
to apply to the program. And then students accepted, they must have well, within that class, they usually have around a 3.5.
So I mean, like off undergrad or everything?
Everything. But for the St. John's, it's still the same because you're not getting a BA degree, right? So the kind of the curriculum that the other students have, you had that in combination with that pharmacy part of it because it's a 5-year program, right? 6-year program. Oh, you were speaking on behalf of? Okay. Yeah, so you still have to submit. I'm watching you, but I should be watching you, right? You're still gonna have to submit that. But we can speak a little more afterwards about how they do it, but you still are required to do the GRE and stuff. Cause you don't have to do the PCATs.
No.
So you see, you don't even take a for that program, right? So you have no scores, nothing like that. So you still need to submit something, especially for the quantitative part. Okay. So the cost of the program. I want to give, do I have that slide? I want to take you guys to that page as well, right? So I have a better page to show you for this. And I put it at the bottom here, but we're going to show it afterwards. So I want to break down the cost of it for you, including the tuition and fees. But these are tuition. You know you're always going to have fees attached to your tuition, like the student fees and this and that and the other. So I want to give you guys a really better understanding of that. I do not leave students without showing on that page, so they have a better understanding of what's expected of them, right? There are scholarships attached to the program. Students that have a 3.5 or higher, they can be covered for to 100% of in-state tuition. It can be waived the first year full-time MPH study and dispersed in 2 installments, one before the fall semester and one after the spring, before the start of the spring semester. But you must maintain a GPA 3.5 or above. That is doable, because if you come into grad school, you're serious, right? And you need to maintain the 3.0 anyway. So having that 3.5, you have to be focused. That's why it's important to know what you want to do. So while you're doing it, you enjoy it. So doing the work and presenting perform with people. You have to be full time, yeah.
And in-state.
In-state. Well, the Dean Scholarship is just in-state based. So even if you're like out of state, if you qualify for that, we're going to give you the in-state for you, because that makes sense.
So you could apply for the Dean Scholarship.
You're
even if
gonna,
coming
and you
from
don't have to
outside.
apply to it. It's based on merit. So it's not an application attached. So if you get your application, you have a 3.5 above, the admissions committee are gonna consider those students right? So you don't have to do a secondary application.
Students who, obviously, yes, this is for full-time students, but on a previous slide, it said that students normally take like 2 to 3 classes per semester. So do you guys do like, would I be able to take like 3 classes in the fall and then 1 in the winter and still be considered as full-time? Or do I have to take all 4 of those courses in the fall? So
All 4 in the fall.
Does the scholarship only last for the first year?
Excuse me?
Sorry, does the scholarship only last for the first year?
Yeah.
It's not.
Exactly, yeah. But there are always opportunities to get more scholarships. I'm not just telling you guys a dream. I'm very transparent with it, and I'll show you where you can find other scholarships as well. And we're also going to honor scholarships that a lot of students come in with. So don't just depend on one area. There are many different areas, and I show a lot of students that they can definitely go out there and search, get scholarship, and we will honor it. Right? There's free money out there, especially for specific areas, right? Such as the master, but we don't have anyone that's interested in the MS environmental because they do have scholarships ready for them. But this is what it looks like. If you were interested in the MS program, these are the master's scholarship that this way it looks like for you, right? Then there's the mayor scholarship. You guys heard of that as well? So the mayor scholarship, they must be a New York City employee. So there may be some employees out here from New York City. You can qualify, go to the website, you can get part of this as well. Also check with your jobs. You never know. A lot of students come and they didn't realize that their jobs should be prepared for school to get tuition remission. So we honor those as well, right? So definitely look into that. FAFSA, this is our code right here, as you can see. So you can file it. But I would let you know that financial aid assistance is not like undergrad. It's not free money, right? I'm being transparent with you. It's loan, right? It's just at a better rate, but it's still loan. Your hands up?
yes,
Yeah.
with the advanced certificate, qualify for financial aid, or that's
No.
something out of pocket?
Sorry, that. But we also have payment plans. I can show you where you can find more information on that as well. Right? And this is about booking an appointment with me. And you guys know how to do that, right? Maybe you can go on our website. And how long would it take for you to hear from us? It'll take 4 to 6 weeks once you submit your application in Sophus. Right? And when you get accepted, you have to submit the commitment, deposit within 3 weeks of your admission decision. You also have to submit your immunization records. If you attended CUNY before, we may already have access to that information. And then we also host admitted students day and orientation day before you start the program, so you're gonna learn about that. And then,
How large typically is your accepted class?
so that varies depending on the programs, right? I would let you know that the school is growing. It is really growing. For instance, our community health and our health policy and management programs are 2 of our bigger programs. So we have a lot of students accepted into that cohort, both fall and spring. However, we have a smaller number for the FE and the biostatistic program because it's more competitive, right? So then we have the nutrition, which is usually small. As you can see, it's a usually small class, so it varies. And then people do that at different paces. So then we have those who go full-time or part-time. If you want to know class sizes as well, so they're going to be bigger in the beginning. So you can find like the core courses for those that don't complete it online. Your class could be like 50 people for some of the core courses because everyone has to take it. 50, 60 people in the lecture hall upstairs, right? However, when you come to your concentration focuses, your classes could be like 15. It could be 20 persons, and that's a bigger size class. Maybe like 15 people, or 15 to 20. And then after the nutrition, you may have like a 10, like something like that, and then epidemiology the same. So it's smaller and it depends, right? But the community health and health policy are two of our much bigger programs. For good reason, right? So, all right. Let me take you to the website.
Yeah, about how much is your commitment deposit? Does it vary? Oh.
I have a question about your maternal health specialization.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take up too much time, but I am curious just to hear like a little bit about it.
All right, so I can take you to that page a little bit. I'll show you everything is. And you don't have to apply for that right now, right? You apply for that afterwards.
What is that application process like?
It goes within the department. So we don't really see it from the admission because it depends on everyone can look into that. All areas of college. That's a very big area right now, right? Mm-hmm. You can ask.
Okay. Are there potentially like future plans to somehow work it out where coursework or field work can be conducted overseas or somewhere else? Future plans, like future things.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to tell you a lot.
Because I've seen it at other schools.
Yeah. But I don't doubt it because we are doing some exchange programs. Mm-hmm. I'm going live. This one was a country. I can't remember. It's a Spanish-speaking country, and many Spanish-speaking countries are jumping up in my head right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, but they're working with doing like an exchange program with that right now. Okay. So that's definitely something where I guess not far behind, especially since we have that and it's in migrant and health policy. Mm-hmm. So they're already conducting work overseas. Okay. So for your question, was more specific about students being a part of that field work component. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about, but I know there are conversations about stuff like that, but I can't cement that. Okay. Right? All right, so one thing we asked about, we went to see where the elective programs. Let's look at community health. So if you've been on this page before, you remember this, and then here. Oh, did we speak about this, any of it? We did not, right? About what's a part of the application. Have any of you visited SOFIS before? You've all visited SOFIS? So that's the only place you must send all documentation. All your official transcript, your resume, personal statement, the letters of recommendation, everything must go there, right? Transcripts, everything. You must have a personal statement, 500 words, no more than 500 words. Try to be as concise as possible. Within that personal statement, you want to address things like why you're interested in public health. Why CUNY Graduate School of Public Health? How does coming into this program align with your career goals? So everyone's story is different. You just have to tap into where it began with you. Where did the interest start and how can you put it into words? Like a lot of people started with, I helped this student a little while ago. She took a natural science course and she watched the movie, right? And it was on a plant, and there was like a big explosion, and everyone started to suffer with like cancer. She started thinking about, if this happens, who do we go to? How do we help these people? And her interest is in environmental. And sometimes you're doing your application, you think you don't have the tools that you need to be admitted into the program. But being here today just speaks about what you're doing. So you have to sit down and really think about it. And I said, that's it for you. And she said, can I really write about a movie? I said, you're not going to write about the movie. You're going to write about what you received from the movie. And what you received was, this is something that can happen. Because what happened? Flint, Michigan. Look at their water, right? Or simply let's think about, when was the last time they changed the pipelines in your apartment? Do you know? You don't know. We bathe with that water every day. Some of us drink that water. We cook with it, right? But you don't know what is happening to the body after a while. And that is a public health initiative. So and that deals directly with environmental and occupational health sciences. So I said, yes, it makes sense why you're interested in environmental. This will bring that out of you. right? Because something happened. Who speaks up for these people? Do they just get sick and die? And that's what's happened. That's a real situation. So you have to tap into what it is for you. You may work somewhere, you're seeing things, you're seeing practices, you're seeing policies not in place. So you just have to think about what's important to you and put it in the paper. Do not take this part for granted. Don't think it's just an essay. It's not just an essay. It is an area for you to really create a strong application, right? And we ask that students have at least a 3.0. But some of us graduated like probably 7 years ago, 10 years ago. We're now decided to go back to school, and that's okay, right? So we may not have the 3.0 that we had, that we're supposed to have before. We may have like a 2.9 and 2.7, and we still want to pursue, and I don't think that should stop us. Just think about areas in your application to grow. It's possible. You are more than a number, right? So you have your personal statement, you have professional development that you've done. You've taken certificates, right? You've done different programs. You were awarded at your job. You got promotion. You had different things that you volunteer with. You may work at a food pantry on the weekend, helping out the baby. You know, volunteering in this area, like another student, you know, because we had to sit down. A lot of time I do also complete your application day, and I have a little come, we sit down, think about it, you like to write it out. You know, like vision board, it's a real thing. Write out your vision board, put your things together, and you're gonna realize how you have been doing public health your whole life. You just didn't realize this is your passion, right? So put that energy into your personal statement, and you see already, everyone had a like, yeah, I remember, it's clicking. Right? And don't you see that's an area for you to be strong? How many people you know your age or in your experience in your field have done the things that you've done? It may not have. So that's an area for you to shine right there. Right? So then we have your resume. Present your resume like you would at a job interview. Don't look at it as just an application. How you put together a resume and put it as towards public health. This is what you're applying for. You're not applying to be secretary. Don't put clerical information. Okay, you can answer the phone, so can I, right? So put information that pertains, like your job, what you're doing right now, how does that pertain to public health? And then within your personal statement, you're not regurgitating what's on your resume. You're just showing how your experiences is going to lead to your career goals, which incorporates CUNY Graduate School of Public Health, right? 2 letters of recommendation. Be very careful who you ask to write your recommendation. We've received recommendation where they said, I do not recommend this person to get into this program. You'll be surprised. Some people will smile with you, right? But they will not recommend you. So be wise, right? Not because one job is the only public health place you've ever worked in before. You know, you left after a few months. Don't ask for recommendation. It's not gonna work, right? If you got a C- in that defined, I don't think that's a professor for you. Think about what you're laughing, but people really get these things, right? So really take it into practice. If you receive your degree internationally, you must submit the TOEFL score, especially if the language of instruction was not in English. If it was in English, you don't have to submit the TOEFL score, right? You need to have your transcript evaluated through WES or ECE as well. Okay. So when you go to your program page, you can see here the faculty, the 3 electives, how many electives you want to take, right? And how it goes. Also, you're going to see the competencies. I'm not going to read them all out, but you can look here and you look at the competencies that you're going to develop throughout this concentration. Look at this page as well, because you're going to see how it's in line with your long-term goals. Make sure these are the skills that you want to develop, right? And these are the sequences of the program, if you attend full-time or part-time. So these are some of the courses that you're going to take. And even though they're here, when they're presented at their summer classes or their winter classes, you can see how you can shorten your time. All right, tuition. So you're going to come to this page again, student services, student finances, I wanted to show you guys a more a realistic overview, like coins to coins, of what you're gonna pay for the program. So right here, so you're gonna see here, so the certificate and non-degree students, as well as the master's program, these are what they pay, right? They pay a cheaper amount, or a few dollars less. Part-time, full-time, and these are the out-of-state residents and international students. This is their fee. Right? So you guys gotta look at it. Always scroll below. So you're gonna see when you look down here, it's gonna have the method of public health tuition. So this is including your tuition and your fees, right? This is 1 credit. There's no class for 1 credit. They all start at 2 credits, right? You have 3 credits, so this is how much you can pay for 1 class. And then for 2 classes, you're 10 part-time. Taking 2 classes. If you're 10 3 classes, this is how much you can pay. If you're 10 full-time, take 12 classes, 12 credits or more. It's the same. You know how cute, give you that little discount at the end? If you take a little more full-time, you're gonna get a little discount, take an extra class, right? So this is it right here. This is the cost of the class of the program. And actually, this is not bad. This is actually very good, right? Just to brag a little bit. So we're the second best public health program in the state of New York, right? So y'all know who's above. Who do you think is above? Who? Who said Columbia? Yeah, it is Columbia. They're the only one.
Will you beat Cornell? Can you beat Cornell?
Of course.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
So we're right there before every other body. So NYU and Pace and St. John. Like they're different. I'm just telling that not to just yes, to close a little bit. But not only that, but to show you that the money you're paying for this type of education is priceless. Right? You can easily pay. My sister goes to Columbia because she works at Columbia as well in HR. But she goes there, and for 1 class, it was $6,500. 1 class at Columbia. I'm not lying to you. But it's also the name, as we know, also the name and the brand of Columbia. But I'm just letting you know that you can get the cost, you get the feedback for your money. You're gonna get something, the yield is better, and you're not gonna get into that with that, right? All right, let's move forward. I want to show you your payment options because some of us we're still concerned, even though it's cheaper, it's still money, right? And you still gotta pay it if you don't do the loan. So we have these are some one-time payments how you can pay, and then we have the payment plan. Is this it? Oh yeah, so this is the payment plan. So the earlier you enroll, the lower your monthly payments are, right? Because they're going to be divided into the shorter amounts. You guys probably did payment plans before, so you kind of know how they work a little bit. So this is something we have that as well for you. So which is sometimes a better option. So this is just where you can find this information. Don't use I'm going through so you can see when you're not here with me, you can find it, right? All right, so we did elect, what else? We have the field work, right? So you see where to find that information? That was fast. You saw? Okay, so you come to academic and go to field work. And these are some of our approved sites. So these are they here, all right? You could always send me an email and I can send you the direct link for you. I want to show you guys something, so sorry. So everyone have different interests, right? What is this? Wait, no. So we all have different interests for here. So if you come here, like for instance, community health, right? So you have like areas where you can go for that. You could get a little deeper look up this. And epidemiology. These are some of the places that they have epidemiology, health policy. So this is some areas that our students have went as well. Global health. You may be interested to know that this is an area that there is. So for every nutrition, so every area, every concentration, we have it in more than one place approved sites for you, right? So these are them right here. Did I say, did you guys have somewhere else you want me to take you? Any questions you have? No? Yeah?
I don't know if you answered this. The
Yeah,
application
that's fine.
fee?
I see that. 135. We don't have a fee. Scopus has a fee.
Okay.
So
Got
in
you.
Scopus is fees 135. That money don't come to us at all. And your commitment deposit, that goes directly to your account. So
Okay.
it's not just money that we have, it goes towards your tuition, right? Yeah, I'm just looking for it. You got, yeah.
So I was looking at, so you were mentioning earlier about how it requires 2 letters of recommendation. So yesterday I was actually setting up the Sophus account and it was requiring 3 letters. Yeah.
I have a test on you. I don't know.
I think it's because like some schools require 3 and you, like if you go through SOFAs, you pick each application as you go. So like you put them all in. You know what I mean?
That was even after like selecting.
So
Yeah, that was.
I can give you a quick answer for that, right? In Sophus, for our Sophus, we also have our PhD students as well as our MPH students submit their application in Sophus. For the PhD program, we require 3 letters of recommendation. For the MPH and the MS programs, we require 2. So in order to override that, if you're just with the MPH, just put another email in there. So put the email in there and just override that. But you don't have to respond, You can put just don't respond, right? So you can do that. But that's the only reason why. But she's also right, other schools have, but for us specifically, we only require 2, so we have 3 days for the our PhD students, right? Any other question? And you guys can apply to all the programs if you want. That's okay. Your application will not be shunned upon. You won't be looked negatively. You won't be looked confused. You're just gonna be looking at someone that has several different interests, right? So you can apply to all of them. However, you can't accept all of them. You must enroll into one program. So that's something I want you to keep in mind. Yeah.
No, I know there's 2 types of like PhD programs. One you pay for, one that they pay you. Like, what is this one?
Are you interested in PhD?
I mean,
You just want to give me trouble tonight. Right?
yeah.
No, but yeah. So our PhD program there is funded.
Okay.
So yes, that's what you're asking. That's a normal question. There's funding attached to them, right? So if you were interested in a PhD, we can help you with that. Questions? Anything? Yeah.
The dress on the percentage first races.
We started, and some of them they're still under. Not for anything else, but for a little backup because we have a lot of application. Right? So you kind of have you applied, everybody applied? Because you have the strange face looking at me, turtleneck, white shirt. Oh, you applied already? She's like, why did I get my answer back? No, not again. So if you applied, they're still doing it. If you were not accepted into the program, that's okay as well. Crazy, right? But it is okay. We can tell you what you need to strengthen within your application. We can have it sit down and you can improve it. So you can apply them. Right? Any other questions? And we're still accepting application until January 1st. Anyone from York? Anyone attend York? Attended? Okay. Well, I'm going to York to help students complete their applications. If you were in that area and you need help, you can also come here, right? All right. Any other thing? Any other questions? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how I would go about finding more information about whether or not I could do a concentration before I apply. Like if I really want to do a specific concentration at if I were to come, I'm wondering how I could figure out more about that and the likelihood of whether I would get into it once I'm here. Does that make sense? Like I really, yeah.
Are you asking about being pre-screened?
Not pre-screened, but I guess like what the likelihood is that I would get into a concentration.
Pre-screened?
I don't know. What is it? Or like what the stats are, or something like that. Like how people get in, or like
also
what people look for. Yeah.
All right. So that's a normal question as well. I just want to give you a hard time. But you must have at least a 3.0.
Okay.
Not because you have a 3.0 that means you're going to be accepted.
Right.
And not because you have a 3.0 with me you'll be rejected. It's just like different things we look at, right? And that's why I stress look at every aspect of the application that's important. Mm-hmm. Because you can look nice on paper, like with grades wise, but you have no idea of how to like what you're looking for, right? And that's fine. But you have, like I tell students, as you do your application, let's say you're interested in community health, right? Go on the website and learn about the program, right? In terms of acceptance rate into the program, we have like a 50 percentile of acceptance rate. Meet the requirement and really don't just be letters and numbers. Make your application make sense.
I think I missed, but I think I meant like the specialization. So like the maternal health specialization.
Oh.
Like because you apply that after you
yes.
get in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious about what that application
acceptance rates are.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. So that's where would I go to find that?
I can connect you.
Yeah, okay.
Right? I can.
Thank you.
Talk to me after.
Okay.
I'll be happy to help you with that.
Does the program, all of the programs, help with as far as besides like the field work? Does it help with job placement as well?
We have a very good career services department, so we always hold career days. Mm-hmm. And invite a lot of different organizations to come. Our students come with their resume. They come professionally dressed. They network. They have their cards. So there are a lot of different opportunities, right? And every week we post jobs, vacant jobs. Every single week you're gonna find information about new opportunities for you. So we do help our students, right? Even alumni, they come back. We still have a very good alumni spaces. They come and they help with that as well. Like where they were, they come and represent that at the fair, right? Mm-hmm.
I understand that the field work, looking at the on the online curriculum prior to coming here, I saw that the field work was a part of like a separate, like maybe like the third semester or fourth semester.
It's last,
right? It's April last. So
yeah.
Like if you don't complete your required hours in a certain amount of time, like are they able to like go into like the next semester and like kind of finish it off?
I suppose they should, yeah, because
you
may not be the only person that happens to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I doubt you're going to be the first. It must be the last. Yeah. Right? Anything else? Yeah.
So you mentioned pre-screening.
Funny. No, but I can help you guys or anyone in our department. If you send an email and say, hey, we want to speak a little bit more. Could you help me with the application? I want to bring in my transcripts, to even look at it for me. Give me some unbiased, comments. Because some people are worried about that. Maybe they don't have a 2.0, right? Maybe they have a 2.7. Do we accept 2.7 regularly? No. But have we? Yes. Because it's more than just a GPA. There are different aspects. And then we tell you like what you can do. Mostly, no, we don't. But like usually I would advise a student, okay, you're trying to get into the spring. You have a 2.7. I would say take some courses, some undergrad courses. Most of the time I say, see if you could take an undergrad public health course, if you take an urban policy, any type of social science, political science, sociology, economics, taking these 3 of these courses to help your GPA. Maybe you graduated a long time ago, right? Maintain a good GPA, sure that you can handle the work. You know what you're doing. So that's a good way to do it, right? Going once, going twice, and sold. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. All right. So thank you all for stopping. If you didn't sign in, please sign in. If you want my card, I can run real quick. You guys need my card?
Yes.
I think you do. Let me go get my card. I forgot it. I'll be right back. You go through all this.